Make sure that I'm not in your shit. Okay, I'm good. Are you recording? Oh, you always do this. I've only been here once. I've only been here once, and you always do this. Always. God, your hair is long.
I know, right? It's slicked back now.
Yeah,
it's
you're an 80s mafia mobster.
Yeah,
Where's your oversized suit?
What's going on, Reject Nation? I'm Greg Alba. The Mexcellence himself.
It's me!
Sammy Gonzalez is here. Follow him on Instagram or else he'll never come back whenever he's visiting from Texas. Also, he's part of the YouTube channel Double Toasted, which is one of John's favorite channels.
But not yours. Why not yours?
I can't stand that. What's that guy? Corey? Such an asshole in real life. No,
I mean,
he's a nice guy. We've had drinks after the showdown.
You're gonna hurt his feelings.
He's a great guy.
You're gonna hurt his feelings.
He's actually hypersensitive in real life.
Oh, no! Don't say that in public.
Hey, Sammy.
What?
I watched the Bumblebee theatrical trailer, but have you seen the international one or the theatrical?
I haven't seen shit, which you can also watch on Thursdays at Double Toasted, but that's like my thing. I don't watch things.
He doesn't watch things.
This will be a genuine reaction because I've only seen the first teaser with Bumblebee and the cobwebs. I think is what it was.
But you were telling me before. You've seen the Transformers cartoon.
Yeah.
Have you seen the movies?
Like some of them, they all bleed together.
Yeah,
what was the one with the really racist little tiny robots and the balls?
2 through 4.
Okay.
I don't know.
Got it.
I don't know.
Yeah.
When I did the reaction and review for the other trailer, everyone's like, "You got to check out the international one. That one's better." So even though I've already seen it, the theatrical one, I figured, you know what? You haven't seen any of it. I haven't seen the international. Let's watch this one together.
All right.
Sammy, headphones, please.
Headphones. I don't know which one's the right side. I'm committing.
All right, homie. Oh, this is definitely different. Whoa.
Where's Optimus Prime?
Still about Optimus.
Was that the meth van?
Memory core critical fail. Ah, he loses his memory. Okay, well, this trailer's revealing a lot.
That's lucky.
I want the Beetle. I'll work here every day for a year.
Yours, kid.
Stanley.
Is that his dick?
You know, I'll do a Google search after.
Do you speak? You sound like a little bumblebee.
Hey!
Name drop.
The only person you can show yourself around is me. So let's say we're driving and all of a sudden somebody's there, hide! You serious?
It's like a totally different trailer.
Right.
Holy crap.
Let me see if I can fix it.
And pray this message finds you. Our war rages on.
The voice mentioned Aurora.
Is that Cybertron?
You're hiding
Yeah.
or something?
Cool, huh?
No criminal from our world is hiding on yours.
That's
John
Angela
Cena.
Bass.
An enemy isn't found.
We'll burn the whole planet to cinders.
Oh, wow. They are bad.
Starscream and who?
Blitz Knight and, look it up.
B-127. You must protect Earth and its people.
Cool.
Thank you.
Cool.
He ran.
Humor.
Okay. Okay.
I'm like...
Bumblebee. What have you done? I am so screwed.
You don't sound too positive, but I like it a lot. I mean, first off, before we go into anything,
Right.
Oftentimes, if people ask to check out the international, I'm like, nah, maybe probably not.
Right.
Because they're usually very similar. It's
2
just a couple
seconds of extra clip.
That's like a trailer number 3.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
If you watch the other one, it's like a lot of scenes are expanded upon. There's footage that's just flat out not in the other trailer.
Okay.
And even that whole thing about revealing that he loses his memory.
Right.
I don't recall that being in the other trailer. Like, this trailer takes its time a lot more, and I was actually kind of blown away by how This is so different. It's more than just a couple of extra scenes. Like,
right.
You get a much bigger sense of the scenes and the tone.
Our common enemy isn't found.
We'll burn the whole planet to cinders.
Honestly, Sammy, I'm personally loving it. I think it
I
looks
mean,
really cool.
No, here's the thing. This is what people had in their heads when they watched the first run of these live action ones. Because they wanted Transformers to be so good the first time around. Yeah. But it looked like garbage. You couldn't tell what was happening.
Yeah.
And so they go, well,
here it's like crisp, cut and clear, man. It's beautiful.
Keep it simple, stupid. Yeah. Make it look like the things that they know. And so they smoothed everything out. They gave them color. And a lot of people are saying, they're more vibrant. Optimus Prime's a truck, even though he's on Cybertron. How does that make sense? But even then, it looks good, and it looks like they're taking their time, and it's going to be slower paced.
Yeah, which I'm very much all for. Because like the other trailer, you still get that vibe, but it definitely moves a lot faster. Right. And then here, I'm like, oh, we're actually getting like a better taste of how the scenes might actually play out.
Pull back. If you just pull back a little bit, you can give a lot more.
Well, I mean, what are your opinions on it so far? I feel like I might just repeat myself.
Like, I want to see this, but it's that last little bit of comedy that they threw in where it's like, okay, you got to appeal to the children, I know, but you don't have to go so slapsticky. I get the Transformers inherently are foolish and kind of dumb in the 80s, you know, the cartoons, but when I watch like Beast Wars or the same kind of like Transformers shows, they take it super serious a lot of times. Like, it's like, oh, we're at war and like we have to fight. And this is like, oh, Bumblebee, you're so silly and wacky. And it's like, we don't always need hijinks.
Well, yeah, I guess.
You want hijinks. You want Bumblebee hijinks is what you want.
Mean, it's a fair criticism, and if you don't like it, I totally get it. But I'm with you in the sense of I wonder if it's going to feel tonally out of place and a little bit forced. You got one trailer here, which is very, like, epic and serious. And,
War for Cybertron.
Like, Bumblebee does not remember why he's here, you know?
There is only one way to end this war.
And he befriends a little girl, but she's in danger now. I don't know. It might just be the fun and games part of like Act 2.
Right.
You know?
I get. Yeah, I know there's going to be character development where they're going to be like, oh, we have to build the bond, and you have to like Bumblebee. You have to have personality. Haley Steinfeld is her name. Has to have personality with Bumblebee. So I understand that's what you're doing to develop that. But as you saw with some of those middle 2, 3, 4 Transformers, they got too silly. They got too crazy. They got too out of pocket, and it just worked to the detriment of it. So.
True, I agree. Well, here, I said in the last reaction that I don't know who the other Decepticons are, and that I want to be educated. Which is how the Double Toasted fan base does not treat Sammy when he wants to be educated.
What? Hey!
You idiot! You don't know anything!
That's right. Yeah. Go watch my show to see my disrespect.
The red one is a female Decepticon called Shatter. That's voiced by Angela Bassett.
Oh, Jesus,
Which is going to be an epic performance.
Bring it in. And then...
The blue one is Dropkick, and the red jet one is Blitzwing. Everyone thought that was Starscream.
Right.
That was the big upset, but it wasn't actually Starscream.
Right. I mean, if they're rebooting this whole franchise, you can't, burst your load that early.
That's true. I mean, they did in the first one.
Right. They put everybody in there, like people died. Don't get me started.
I started watching the Transformers cartoon. I bought the first season.
Okay.
Because I'm that dedicated to the Transformers now.
To the Transformers universe.
Yeah. So I bought it, and there was that robot dog whose name I can't recall.
Right. There's like a bunch of them in the movie. There's like a couple dogs.
Yeah, but I'm imagining because they're on Cybertron here that it might be that same dog from the one that was in the show, from the first 3 episodes. Which, for my nostalgia factor,
nostalgia
from 4 days ago.
I remember it fondly.
That gets me excited.
But we were looking at the clips from the old trailers trying to find out who the dog was.
Yeah.
But they do have the cassette player one, Soundwave.
Yeah.
That's like the dumbest Transformer, but simultaneously the best Transformer. Yeah. He's a cassette tape, and then he gets like, wee, and then he's a robot. And then he goes inside of another robot. Yeah. Like, that's what I liked about the animated movie, was that you had all of them together having this big-ass war.
Yeah.
And then you got to see some of them die and stuff. Like, if this builds to that... I can't wait for like the second or third one of this series.
I guess one thing with the marketing that I'm actually kind of questionable about, the other trailer, when I look back on it, I was thinking, did we really need to see Optimus Prime? Did we need to reveal that? But here, it actually looks like he's a part of the story as opposed to just, hey, we need to throw in Optimus Prime, guys. Because it looks like Optimus sent him there and, he forgot his mission. He's got a Bourne Identity case going on.
Did you really think they were going to have a Transformers movie without Optimus Prime?
No, but at the same time, my thought was thinking it might have been cooler to just let it still be revealed when you're watching it.
Hollywood doesn't know how to be cool. They know how to be money.
You're money. You're so
money.
And so they go,
Cynical
oh, we need money.
Sammy.
I have to be. I have to be. When it comes to things like this, it's like, we need money. Let's make sure that the first trailer, the teaser, that was like because people like Bumblebee.
Right.
But how are we going to make money? Throw in Optimus Prime. Who's the voice actor for Optimus Prime? Super famous. What's the voice actor?
Peter Cullen.
Peter Cullen. Thank
Yeah.
you, John. Thank you, John. Peter Cullen is in it with his badass voice. And so that triggers all that nostalgia. It gets the gears going, and it's going to set this one off right. Without the explosions, without the Shia LaBeouf, without the Megan Fox ass, and some people might like that, but it's too much. This is ready to be a money-making machine again for them.
Well, the thing is with this international trailer, it relieves that like annoyance of showing that to me because he seems like an essential part of the plot, as opposed to we need to throw in a cameo.
Yeah, he didn't come in at the end and be like, I'm here to save Cybertron.
I'm Optimus Prime. Like it's he's a part of the plot.
And then he's the fucking Mack truck at the end of it. I kind of want to see that. That's kind of something I've always wanted to see. It was like a proper Mack truck, old school style Optimus Prime busting through all those army guys. I can't wait for that.
Probably get a cool lead in there. And I think too what this trailer also gave me was the villains seem much better than any of the many Megatron appearances we got in the trailers.
Yeah,
the villains here seem personal, like they really hate Bumblebee. And I like that idea of like, we need him or else we're going to destroy Earth. That's a good way to hook in the military to working for the Decepticons to save the planet.
The criminal from our world is hiding on yours.
Because like, this seems like John Cena, he's a bad guy, but he's not really a bad guy.
Is John Cena ever really a bad guy?
Nah, not even in wrestling.
But I was gonna say, like the old Megatron looked like this jar of pens. It's just gray with a couple of colors splashed in. It was like
they look like classic Transformers.
This is what I mean. Nerds sometimes, including myself, don't know what they want, and so it's like, should they make an exact replica of the '80s cartoon? And then the first run, they were like, no, we got to make it more dynamic. We got to make it more like that. But then this time around, it's like, okay, we're going to make it just like the 80s cartoon. Everyone's like, yeah, that's what I wanted. Same thing with Power Rangers. So like, I'm like a Power Rangers kid. I was in the 90s, right?
Yeah.
And then they made a gritty reboot. Goldar was like molten gold.
Yeah.
And the mech was like all slender and neat. But it's like, no, give me the blocky one.
Exactly.
And so if the next one has the blocky one, it's going to be me going like, yeah, it's the same as what I knew.
Beyond that, though, I think that even if I hadn't seen the cartoons to have any frame of reference at all to see what like, oh, this color palette and the way the Transformers are looking, and a lot of people are talking about like G1 Optimus and all that. Even if I hadn't seen any of those imagery, I would be more drawn to this imagery beyond the Michael Bay version.
Yeah, it's simple.
It's
colorful.
It's colorful. Yeah. It's easier to see. You know,
and they're smaller.
It's like, it's not too much. The trailers and the marketing aren't treating it solely as this is for the fans and this is only for the nostalgia factor. It's done in a way where I feel like it can be appealing for people who haven't been drawn to the Transformers movies. Right. So I'm all on board for this, man.
Yeah.
It's the first Transformers movie I'm genuinely excited for.
Yeah, maybe. I just like I kind of mentioned, they're smaller. I like that. They're not like Gundams. They're not like these big monstrosities. Like Bumblebee is like a car that can stand up. Like that's cool.
You can fit in a house.
Yeah, you can fit in a house exactly. And so I'm excited for it. Cautiously optimistic, but it's gonna be that humor. It'll live and die by that humor that they decided to put in. That the studio said, gotta make it funny. Gotta make it for the children.
Well, Sammy, Marvel's funny.
And that's the only reason why they're good.
Everything should be funny.
That's the only reason why those movies are good, because they're funny.
Because they're funny.
Star-Lord, he's a rascal.
Iron Man, he's narcissistic and a dick, but he's funny.
He quips so much.
Funny is in.
Funny. Make it funny. Everything's funny. Predator.
Predator's funny. Everyone's funny. As long as you're funny.
Be funny.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for watching. You guys can subscribe to the Reject Nation. Click that notification bell. Check us out on Patreon. We got TV show reactions, Q&As, a whole bunch of goodies. More importantly, follow Sammy Gonzalez over on Instagram at _Mexcellence. I follow him. He sends me dick pics. And you should also check him out on Double Toasted. They're a fantastic YouTube channel. He's the main face of the channel.
That's all me.
It's all him.
By myself.
There's some guy, Corey and Martin, are supporting players on there, but it's Sammy
I
as the
throw
lead.
him a bone.
No, yeah.
Throw him
Every
a bone.
once in a while, they might get to cover something small, but Sammy, he's the big dog over there. He's the big player. Go check him out.